Hey, what's up guys? It's a Sports Blitz here, and we're back with our second NFL mock draft of the season. The first one I feel like went really well, though I hadn't, at the time, done much film study on wide receivers. I have started doing a lot more of that lately, so I feel like I have a better idea of what receiver fits which team's scheme. So, I feel like this mock draft should be a lot more accurate, so if you're interested, make sure to smash the like button and subscribe. Also be sure to follow the Twitter. I'm always posting information about draft prospects on there, so if you're interested in learning more about some of these prospects, be sure to give that a follow. That'll be in the description below. But yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. This will be a 2-round mock draft. With trades, I did get premium for this website. So, starting off with the number 1 overall pick, I think I'm finally in that territory of saying Aiden Hutchinson deserves to go number 1 overall over Kayvon Thibodeau. I think he's just an absolute monster. He kind of reminds me, honestly, of like Nick Bosa. He's able to eat up blocks, just completely tear through offensive tackles. I mean, he's insanely fast off the edge, but he's also incredibly powerful. I feel like he'll do solid in the run game as well. Just a great pick for the Lions defense there. Then we have the Jaguars at number 2. The Jaguars have Josh Allen, though they really could use another edge rusher on the other side. But they could also use some safety help, some corner help, some offensive line help. They could use help everywhere. So at this point, you've got to go with just the next best player available. And I think at this point, we would say that's Kayvon Thibodeau. So I'm going to go ahead and go with him. Then we have the Houston Texans. This is one that I've seen a lot of controversy on. I've seen a lot of Texans fans saying, we want a quarterback, or we want an offensive lineman, or we want defense, or whatever. This is a spot I think you could both consider trading back. I feel like you can honestly consider getting a quarterback or fixing the O-line. I mean, really, like, if you get an offensive tackle, there's a few really good tackles available right here. You could get him to go opposite of Laramie Tunsil and have a really good tackle tandem right here. So that's definitely an option. However, they're most likely going to get rid of Deshaun Watson this offseason. Tyrod Taylor obviously isn't a long-term answer. Davis Mills, I feel like, hasn't been absolutely terrible for them, but I just don't really see him as a franchise quarterback right now. I just don't think he's going to be that guy, if you ask me. So I'm going to go ahead and go quarterback here. That's interesting. They have Kenny Pickett as their number 1 now. I like Kenny Pickett. I like the upside. I would not draft him this high. If you are going a quarterback this high, I'd probably go Matt Corral, though I do really love Malik Willis as well. I think in terms of just pure talent and potential, Malik Willis is my quarterback 1. There's a lot he needs to fix in terms of his mechanics and reads before I could say that he should be drafted this high overall. So the question is, do you take that high upside and just take him right here and have the potential of having a superstar quarterback later on, but also have that bust potential? Or do you go with a safer pick like Matt Corral? I think I'm going to go ahead and have them take Matt Corral. Texans fans, let me know what you think about that in the comments section. I mean, you could definitely go with a tackle. You could go with Kyle Hamilton, Derek Stingley. You could go about any direction here. Because the Texans roster is far from complete. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think of that pick. Then we have two back-to-back Jets picks here, and I think we're going to take them both on defense, because where Robert Saleh is so much of a defensive coach, there's no way in hell he is satisfied with how his defense has been this year. I mean, it's been pretty terrible. So I think he's going to go ahead and take the two best defensive players available, and that's Kyle Hamilton and Derek Stingley. Excuse me. And that really helps their secondary big time there. Then we have the New York Giants. They also have back-to-back picks. I feel like the best thing for the Giants right here would be to completely solidify their offensive line. And then I've seen it pretty split down the fan base with, no, let's give Daniel Jones another year, or no, he's a bust, let's move on. So we're not exactly sure the best way to go there. I think let's first discuss the offensive line. So you could definitely take Evan Neal here and have a franchise left or right tackle. He can be a franchise tackle on either side. He has great mechanics on both sides. I was saying before, during the 2019 draft, I wasn't super high on Andrew Thomas. I had him as my offensive tackle 4, I believe. I mean, I had Mekhi Becton as number 1, then I had Tristan Wirfs and Jedrick Wills tied at, number 2 and 3. And I feel like Andrew Thomas hasn't really been exactly what they want, though you pair him with Evan Neal, that's a pretty solid tackle tandem. So you could definitely go there. I feel like they definitely need interior line help as well, and I'll be completely honest here, okay? Akeem Akwanu. I'll be completely honest, I like him more as a guard. Now, he played solid as a left tackle. I really liked him as a left tackle. But as a guard, he was just absolutely dominant. Like, I would love to have him on the interior. So it's like, okay, would you rather take him as, honestly, I think he could genuinely be like a what's the guy from the Colts name? Quentin Nilsson. I think he could be a Quentin Nilsson level type of guard. I really do. So would you rather take that or Evan Neal, who could be a franchise tackle, but we just don't know exactly what his ceiling would be with them? Which one would you rather take? I think I'm gonna go ahead and take Evan Neal. I mean, I feel like tackle is, I don't know. It's a hard pick. Or if you want to just ride with Daniel Jones for another year, you could take both and completely secure that offensive line. I'm going to go ahead and go Evan Neal here. I think we're going to take a look at quarterback. I just have a feeling Giants fans aren't going to want to see another year of Daniel Jones. He makes too many, big mistakes in my opinion. So Malik Willis kind of reminds me a little bit of Daniel Jones, where he's athletic as hell. I know Daniel Jones, at first glance, you wouldn't think he's athletic, but he is. Super athletic, has a talented arm, but just makes a lot of bad reads. So it's, do you want to take another risk on that, or do you want to take a safer pick like Sam Howell or even Kenny Pickett? I'm not super high on Desmond Ridder. I like his arm talent, but he also, I think, needs to learn to make better reads. I feel like if the Giants are planning on getting a quarterback, they need to at least bring in a really good veteran to at least start right away, so that the rookie can learn behind him and get better, just get better prepared for when he does need to start. This is tough, man. This is tough. I think I'm gonna go ahead and go. Giants fans might hate me for this, but I love Malik Willis. I really do. I know he has similar mechanics to Daniel Jones, and he needs to improve that. But if you hit on him, he can be a real superstar quarterback. So I'm gonna take Malik Willis here. Let me know what you think of that, Giants fans. Then we have the Atlanta Falcons with, again, some good options here. They really need D-line help both at the edge and interior. I would agree with these needs 100%. I'm going to go ahead and go with the best edge rusher available and go with George Karlaftis. I feel like this could really help their pass rush and, really help this defense start to come together. So yeah. Then we have the Carolina Panthers. Now there's a few things here. Panthers, yeah, we don't know what their long-term thing is at quarterback. I personally think they should fix their offensive line and ride with Cam Newton for another year and then try to draft their franchise quarterback in 2022. A guy possibly like Bryce Young would be really good for them, I feel like. But I feel like this year they need to ride with Cam Newton and just completely secure that offensive line in free agency in the draft. I think they do so by getting Akeem Akwanu. Now, this is, again, I think he can be a solid tackle, okay? I'm not saying by any means he's going to be a bad tackle in the league, but he is a dominant offensive guard. Like, he is just an absolutely dominant guard, and I think the Panthers would love to have that. Then we have the Vikings here. There's a few things here. The Vikings could take a corner to replace Patrick Peterson. Obviously, I want to say it was Jeff Gladney that had gotten arrested a couple months back. So they do definitely need secondary help. They could also trade back. Let's see what offers. Hold on. So I feel like this is a spot that the Vikings honestly could trade back, if I'm being completely honest. Definitely get some more draft capital. Because there's not a guy here that I absolutely love at number 10 that the Vikings really need. So I think let's go ahead and start building a trade offer. Let's see. Who could use a trade up? We could potentially see the Steelers panicking and needing to trade up for their next pick because, well, quarterbacks are flying off the board. I know they really like Kenny Pickett, so we could definitely see that type of thing happen. We could see Washington maybe try to do the same. It'll be interesting to see if they ride with Taylor Heineke or if they're really quarterback hungry in this draft. This will be interesting. Let me see again who is available. They've got DeMarvin Neal. Yeah, I think I don't know. I don't think the Steelers should trade up for Kenny Pickett. I feel like he could definitely fall into their laps right at 18, but he could also fall to, the Broncos or the Saints, if we're being honest. So maybe they could trade up for him. You know what? They do definitely need some interior D-line help. I mean, their edges look great. Everson Griffin and Neal Hunter, they look great, but they could definitely use some interior help. So I think let's go ahead and just go with DeMarvin Leal here. Then we have the New Orleans Saints, and they, I think, both need a quarterback and a receiver. I feel like Jameis Winston played pretty solid for them when he was in. I mean, they were 5-2 with Jameis Winston. So I think let's hold off on the quarterback talk for this draft. I think let's go ahead and go with Chris Olave. He's 6'1", about a $190 or so. I mean, he's a fast receiver. I think he fits exactly what the Saints need. You could also see them go with Treylon Burks, who's actually my receiver 1 in this draft. I mean, he's 6'3", 225, and I feel like if they end up losing Michael Thomas, he could be a good replacement because, you know, they're pretty similar size. But I think we're gonna go with Chris Olave here. I think quick, speedy receivers is more what Sean Payton and the Saints want, and I think Chris Olave fits that. Then we have the Eagles with back-to-back picks. I think they definitely need a linebacker, and you know, okay, I'll be honest, okay? I love Darius Slay this year. Darius Slay has been possibly the best corner in the league this year. He's just been completely dominant. But think about this. Pairing him with Andrew Booth on the other side, that secondary would just be disgusting. Like, they'd be locking down receivers. I think that's really intriguing for Eagles fans. I think I'm going to go ahead and have them take Andrew Booth from Clemson. Absolute steal for the Eagles right there. Then we have the Eagles again. I think they really need to get a good linebacker. Devin Lloyd from Utah is, I think, going to be that guy. He's just insane. He can cover well. He can stop the run well. He can blitz. He can do everything you need. I think he's going to be a really good player for the Eagles. Then we have the Broncos. Now, this is where things get interesting. Okay? Do they go ahead and take a tackle to fix their O-line? I don't think their O-line's really that terrible that they really need to. Do they go ahead and get Kenny Pickett? Do they do a trade for maybe Deshaun Watson, Russell Wilson, or even Aaron Rodgers? I don't know. You know, I think they'll be hungry enough to get, you know, a really good quarterback for at least another year or two. I think they trade with the Packers. So I know we can't trade players this way, but we are going to set things up this way. So do Broncos and Packers here. Okay. So the Broncos are going to offer their first round pick, let's see. So sorry, I've got to figure out the best way to push this through. So yeah, the Broncos are probably going to need to send probably 2 or 3 first round picks and then another like second or third. I'm not sure there's a way to force trades, so I'm not exactly sure how that works. So here, tell you what, we'll go ahead and offer these 3 picks, but let's actually have them represent their first rounder this year, obviously, so pick 14. Their second rounder this year. Okay, and then Yeah, so it'll be like the Broncos don't even have a pick in this draft right now, but they get Aaron Rodgers. I mean, I think that's going to be about what it really takes. So yeah, let's go ahead and send that through. Okay, sweet. So, okay, the Packers are now up at number 14. The Broncos just received Aaron Rodgers, so they are done for this draft. So the Packers now, I believe they could really use some interior D-line help, as well as another edge opposite of Zadarius Smith. They could also use another receiver. I don't know. I don't really see a whole ton of needs for the Packers, if I'm being honest. I mean, their defense has looked really good. I think they go with the best defensive lineman available. Go with the big boy from Georgia, Jordan Davis. This dude is an absolute beast. He's like 6'4" and 340 pounds. Just completely destroys the run. Like, he can eat up triple teams and let the rest of the guys on the D-line and the linebackers completely eat. This is going to help the Packers immensely. So, he'll completely eat on the defensive line. Then we have the Raiders, and they're probably pretty upset that, Jordan Davis is gone. I'm sure they also really wanted to get Andrew Booth because they could use some help at corner. They don't have a good interior D-line available for a while. They could go David Ajabo, but I feel like they're pretty solid at edge rusher. I mean, they've got Max Crosby. I feel like Yannick Ngakoue has played pretty solid, so they don't really need that right now. I think, I'll be honest, I like Kaiir Elam a little bit more than Gardner. I feel like Kaiir Elam is my number 3 corner in this class. But Gardner, I think, also fits the Raiders' system a little bit more. I know they really like, fast guys at corner, and I feel like Ahmad Gardner just fits their scheme better. So we'll go ahead and go with Gardner there to the Raiders. Come on. There we go. Then the Browns. Now the Browns could definitely use a quarterback. They could use another edge rusher. I mean, Jadeveon Clowney's gotten a fair amount of pressures, but he's not getting a lot of sacks. I feel like Clowney may be a little overrated, to be honest. So they could go that direction. They could get another receiver, after losing Odell. Jarvis Landry really hasn't been that great even since Odell has been gone. So they could definitely get a new receiver. I think I'm going to go ahead and give them Treylon Burks from Arkansas. Like I said, he's my number 1 receiver in this class. I had Chris Olave go before him because I feel like he fits the Saints scheme more. I feel like Burks is going to be perfect for the Browns. Then we have the Eagles again. 3 picks in the top 17. This is crazy. I'm not one of those guys that thinks they should replace Jalen Hurts right now. I feel like Hurts is good. I feel like he can be the guy for them. They could use some edge help. I think that's what they end up doing. I think they end up getting David Ajabo from Michigan. Then the Pittsburgh Steelers, they need a quarterback. It's been kind of the talk of the offseason that they've been eyeing Kenny Pickett. He wouldn't have to go very far. He stays home, goes to the Steelers. I think they end up getting Kenny Pickett. Then we have the Dolphins at number 19. It says they need a receiver and edge, as well as a running back. I don't feel like they need receiver super bad. I guess maybe a receiver to go opposite of Jalen Waddle. But I feel like they really need a running back, though I'm not a fan of taking running backs in the first round unless they're absolute studs, which Kenneth Walker kind of is. I mean, it's kind of a question, is it worth it to take Kenneth Walker? I don't know. I think right here, I think they fixed the O-line to protect Tua, and they take Charles Cross. He's not a guy that's going to absolutely wow you, but he is solid. Like, he's not going to allow a lot of pressures or sacks, but he's not going to have an insane highlight reel either. Like, he's not the type of dude to be pancaking guys and just be absolutely dominant. He's just solid and consistent, if you ask me. Then we have the Washington football team. You know, with the top 3 quarterbacks off the board here, I think they're gonna need to honestly just stick with Taylor Heineke, and this is under the assumption that they don't trade for a guy like Deshaun Watson or Russell Wilson in the offseason. So I don't think they go quarterback right here because of that. Instead, I think they try to fix the offensive line a little bit. I mean, they could very well lose Brandon Scherf in free agency this year. They could definitely use some center help, and I will be completely honest here, guys. I love Tyler Linderbaum. That dude can dominate at center. Like, he's probably my favorite interior offensive lineman in the draft. He's just dominant. He can play guard as well. I mean, I'd like to see him put on probably 10, 15 pounds in the NFL, but I feel like he can do that. I feel like also once the combine gets a little bit closer, he will test even higher. I love this dude. Where the Washington football team really needs some center help, Linderbaum will be the perfect guy. Then the Bills, they definitely need interior offensive line, because they definitely need to improve the run game for sure. I think they go ahead and get Kenyon Green from Texas A&M. Then we have the Bengals. I'll be honest, there's not a lot of guys here that I absolutely love. I feel like they're going to re-sign their safety Jesse Bates, so I don't think Brisker's going to be a big need. Obviously, they've got their quarterback. They've got some really good receivers. I mean, their linebacker, what's his name? Wilson. I can't think of his name right now, but he's been playing really, really well actually this season. So I wouldn't say they need a linebacker right now. Maybe they could take Khair Elam. I did say he's my number 3 corner in this draft. You know what? Yeah, I think they go ahead and take Khair Elam. I think that'll really help their secondary. Then we have the Chargers with needs at edge, tight end, and interior D-line. Not a lot of guys available here either. They could also use a receiver. I could agree with that. I mean, yeah, they've got Keenan Allen, but they very well might lose Mike Williams in free agency this year. So I think I'm going to go ahead and have them take Garrett Wilson from Ohio State, though I could see them potentially trading back if they don't really end up seeing a need for wide receiver there. I mean, again, if they can re-sign Mike Williams, that'd be awesome, but he's probably going to be asking for quite a bit of money because he's been pretty awesome this year. Then we have the Lions with their second pick of the first round. The question here is, are there any quarterbacks available right now that the Lions would really like to take a chance on? I say yes. I feel like Sam Howell would be a really good fit for them. I feel like he'd mesh really, really well with Dan Campbell. I mean, they're both tough guys that, you know, love to work and everything. I feel like they'll mesh well. I really like Sam Howell to the Lions. Then we have the Cowboys. They could definitely use a safety. I could agree with that. They definitely could use a safety. There's not a ton of great edges available. I would honestly take Drake Jackson over Sanders. So let's go ahead and take a look at the safeties. Jaquan Brisker is available. I also like Jordan Battle, though it might be a little bit early. I'm going to go ahead and go with Jaquan Brisker. I feel like he'd be a good fit for the Cowboys. Then the Chiefs. I mean, it's kind of just been the Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce show. They could really use another really good receiver. They could also use a linebacker. Nakobe Dean would be a great fit for them. Those are the main needs that I see so far. If they want to replace Daniel Sorensen, which I don't think would be a bad idea, they could also go with Daxton Hill. I think they want to lean more towards receiver, though. I think they go ahead and go with Jamison Williams from Alabama. Then we've got the Ravens. Says they need interior D-line and edge. I mean, I feel like they have a pretty solid D-line, but, you know, it could definitely be better. I feel like they could honestly use some interior offensive line help. I mean, when they were getting blitzed by the Dolphins, their interior O-line got absolutely wrecked. So they could definitely fix the interior O-line. I don't feel like they really have a big need at corner like it says. I mean, both Marcus Peters has been out for the entire season, and Marlon Humphrey just got injured and I believe is out for the rest of the season as well. So, I mean, of course the secondary is going to struggle without them. I feel like they really need an interior O-line more so they can protect against blitzes more. I personally like Zion Johnson more than Darian Kinnard. I feel like Zion Johnson, honestly, he could probably play tackle as well, if we're being honest. I feel like it'd be a great fit for the Ravens. I feel like he's big enough he can protect against the blitz. So, yeah, let's go ahead and take Zion Johnson. Then the Bucks. For me, the Bucks have to get a better secondary. I mean, I know they've been eaten up with injuries. I completely get that. But even before then, they weren't that great of a secondary. Now I could see this being something that they end up getting a really good corner in free agency. But if that's the case, I mean, I don't see who else the Bucks really need. I mean, they've really, as far as all offensive positions, they've been good. They've been good. Defense, again, it's really just been corner and I guess you could argue safety that really need the help. I think we go ahead and take excuse me. I think we go ahead and take Trent McDuffie from Washington. Then we have the Titans. They need a linebacker and tight end. I would agree with that. I would actually completely agree with that. I think this is a good time to take Nakobe Dean from Georgia. Another really fast, hard-hitting linebacker that just flies around. That defense could use it. That defense could definitely use it. Then we have the next pick for the Packers. They could definitely use another tackle. I mean, Bakhtiari has had some injuries, and Really, their right tackle, I don't feel like has been all that great this season. I personally like Petit Ferrer more than Trevor Penning. Excuse me. So we're going to go ahead and take him there from Ohio State. Then we have the Patriots. I think they go ahead and take Jahan Dotson, best receiver available at this point. And the Cardinals. They could honestly use some help at offensive line. I mean, that's kind of been their only real weakness this year. And you'd argue, okay, do you need offensive tackle or offensive guard more? I feel like they need tackle more. I feel like they are allowing too much off the edges. So they take Trevor Penning from Northern Iowa. So we've entered the second round, and the Lions are up. They could definitely use some safety help, and yeah, I think they do so with Daxton Hill from Michigan. Okay, we have Washington up here. You know, I feel like this is honestly a great spot for Desmond Ridder. If Taylor Heineke doesn't end up being that guy, I mean, they already helped fix their offensive line in the first round. I think Desmond Ridder would be great for them. I think he'd be a great pick. Then we have the Texans, who took Matt Corral in the first round. I feel like they could use O-line help, edge help. So I think you'd argue, okay, do you want Darian Kennard on the interior line, or do you want Drake Jackson on the edge? I think we take Drake Jackson on the edge. Then the Jaguars are up, needing an offensive tackle and safety. I like Jordan Battle, but he doesn't really wow me the way some of the other safeties do. I feel like he's a solid safety, but I'm not sure if you want to spend a second round pick on him yet. Or, honestly, we could really see the Jaguars trade back. So that's definitely an option as well. Dang. Who would the Jags take right here? They wouldn't double up on edge. You know, I think they try to fix their interior line and take Darian Kennard from Kentucky. Then the Bears, yeah, they definitely need receiver help. Get another weapon for Justin Fields. Take Drake London from USC. Then we have the Vikings needing a safety and corner. I mean, I feel like this is a little bit better of a time to take Jordan Battle. I know it's only 2 picks later than the Jags, but I mean, I feel like it's a better spot than the Jags. I feel like the Jags would be reaching too much if they were to take him. Then the Eagles. Alright, so the Eagles, I feel like they could honestly could use some receiver help. I think we'll pair him up with John Mechie from Alabama again, the speedy receiver. I'm trying to remember if Jalen Hurts ever actually played with Mechie. So I'm not sure if they have that connection, but either way, Mechie would be another great weapon for the Eagles, so they go with him. Then the Atlanta Falcons need interior D-line and safety, as well as another receiver. We don't know the future of Calvin Ridley, if he's planning on even coming back to football, so we'll have to see what happens there. But you know, they could definitely help fix their defense as well. I feel like they could genuinely use another edge, fix both edges for that matter, and I think they go ahead and take Sanders from Cincinnati. Then the Colts, I I feel like they need receiver more than tackle and edge. Have a good receiver to go opposite of Pittman. I mean, I think T.Y. Hilton's pretty much done for. I don't really see much happening for him, so they go ahead and take George Pickens from Georgia. George from Georgia. Then we have the 49ers needing a corner, edge, and D-line. I think Emerson from Mississippi State is a great pick. Then the Saints, they also need a corner. I think we're going to sit tight on quarterback because I think we're going to ride with Jameis Winston for a little bit. It's also possible they get Russell Wilson or maybe Deshaun Watson this offseason. It'd be hard with their cap situation, but it's possible. So I think we look for corner instead, and I think we go ahead and go with Roger McCreary from Auburn. Then the New York Giants, they could definitely use some edge help, also a receiver. I really like Trayvon Walker from Georgia. I feel like he's really solid. He could really make an impact on opposite of Azeez Ojulari. So we're going to go in that direction. Okay, back to the Miami Dolphins. Like I said before, they really need running back. They got an offensive lineman earlier. Well, they go and get their running back of the future now, and they get star running back Kenneth Walker. I feel like that's an absolute steal for the Dolphins. They've needed a really good running back for a while now, and I feel like they'll finally have a run game if they get Kenneth Walker. Okay, then we have the Bengals. They could use some linebacker help now. I mean, I didn't take a linebacker in the first round because, I mean, yeah, Logan Wilson has been really good this season. And if you have a guy that good, you probably don't want to take another linebacker in the first. But in the second, when there's guys like Brandon Smith available, you got to take him. So I'm going to have them take Brandon Smith. Then we have the Chargers, who apparently need edge and tight end. I don't feel like edge is like a huge need for them, though it could help. Honestly, I feel like they need linebacker help more than edge, if I'm being completely honest. So I think we go ahead and take Christian Harris. Yeah, I think we take Christian Harris. I know I need to study more in the second round, so some of these picks may not be super accurate. It's still early draft season. There's a lot of guys that, I need to study more film on for the second round. So if the second round isn't exactly the player you want, let me know who you want, and I'll make sure to watch more film on them, see if they're a good fit. But then we have the Chiefs at 48. Need an edge and a safety. I think I'm gonna go ahead and take Jermaine Johnson from Florida State. They tend to really bring out good edge rushers. Then we have the Jets coming out, and I feel like they could use another pretty solid receiver. So they could go with David Bell. I think I'm going to actually take Henry To'o. Putting him beside TJ Mosley, I feel like that'll really help. Then we have the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I think they need interior line help. If they can get another guard right here, that'd be awesome. We'll go ahead and have them take Sean Ryan from UCLA. Then the Seahawks. They've had some running back injuries. It's come down to them working with Alex Collins and Adrian Peterson, that's just not really what you want to work with. I'm going to have them take Isaiah Spiller from Texas A&M. Because, I mean, if Chris Carson isn't healthy, it's going to be a rough run game. Then we have the Jets again. My gosh, they have a lot of picks. This time, I think they go ahead and take... another corner, and they take Michael Wright. Okay, then we have the Raiders. I feel like they'll go ahead and take Darian Beavers. Use some more help at linebacker. Okay, we have the Browns back on the board. They could use some safety help opposite of John Johnson. So I like McKinley more than Catalan. So let's go ahead and take Verone McKinley. Then we have the Bills. They also need some running back help. I know they've taken some running backs. Well, I know they took Zach Moss in the 3rd round 2 years ago, I believe it was. I don't think he's worked out super well, so they're going to get Zach Charbonnet from UCLA. Sorry, letters are hard to say. Then we have the Packers on the board. Let's go ahead and have them take that edge rusher I was talking about with Zach Harrison. Okay, then the Cowboys are on the board. They also need an edge. I like Logan Hall more than Abidiki. So we're going to go ahead and take Logan Hall right there. Then the Packers, we'll go ahead and have them take a receiver. Go ahead and get David Bell. Then the Atlanta Falcons. There are a couple guys here that I think would be great fits for the Atlanta Falcons. I think it'd be perfect for them to get Carson Strong, have him learn behind Matt Ryan for a year or two, and then when it's time for Strong to play, I don't think they're going to miss a beat at the quarterback position. I think he'll be completely great right there. Then the Bucks. I'm not exactly sure how much longer Gronk is planning on playing, so we're not sure of that. They also could use a safety opposite of Antoine Winfield, so they could very well take Jalen Catalan right here, and I think that's what they end up doing. Then the Ravens need, apparently, interior D-line and edge. Again, I'm not sure how much I agree with that, but we'll go ahead and have them take a bit. Ibikity, sorry, I need to learn these names better, from Penn State. Then the Packers need a linebacker and a tight end. I feel like Isaiah Likely would be a great pick from Coastal Carolina. Okay, second to last pick, we have the Patriots needing... They could use another corner. I do feel like they'll re-sign J.C. Jackson. I don't think they're going to let him go. I really don't. So they could use another corner, and I think they go ahead and get Darion Kendrick from Georgia. Okay, and then that's kind of tough for the Cardinals because, Cardinals were sitting there thinking that Kendrick would fall to them and, just be perfect fit for them. Patriots snatch him from under their eye right there. I think they go ahead and take Kingsley and Enigberry right there. Sorry, I probably pronounced that wrong. But yeah, that is my 2-round NFL draft. Let me know what you agree with, what you don't agree with. Again, guys, the second round was kind of sloppy. I know that completely. There's still a lot of film I need to watch. It's still pretty early in mock draft season, so, I'll make sure to watch more film, get a better mock draft out for you guys next time. But again, be sure to smash the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Later.